chat. I want to know. Okay. We haven't done this angle in like how long on YouTube, right? It has been a while, huh? I always use my phone main for TikTok, mainly because of like uh, words. Mainly because of the audio quality on my phone when I record on YouTube. I usually have to go mic. So let me know if it is a little wonky because I'm gonna throw one of my mics on onto the charger here. I'm gonna try putting it on now. Let me check and see if the volume is good, and I'm gonna put one of these on though. Hmm, I think that's my hat. Where's my purse? Sweet deal. There it is. Okay. Right. Welcome in, guys. How y'all doing? I'm about to check the audio. Okay. It's charging that. I have way more cords than I would like. But how y'all doing? How y'all feeling? What's the vibe? Let me know down in the chat as I get myself situated here. Okay, I do want to know. Let me know. I'm working on a few things here, so we're gonna get this stuff up and running. I do want to check the audio first. So give me a second. Give me 1 second. Okay. I'm checking the sound. Hi, how you doing? How you feeling? Julian, how you doing? How you feeling? Okay, so it sounds okay on the iPad. Let me know if the sound goes out or anything like that, so I could put my mic in. Okay. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Um, yeah, so we just come in, we could do our meditation, and then we're going to do our read along. Okay. Let me go ahead. I've been working on stuff. Um, y'all know if I come to a live late, it's because I was meditating. But I've also been like working on this stuff for you guys. Okay. I'm not gonna say it. But actually, it's gonna be on YouTube tomorrow. Don't ask what time. I don't know. What do I do for a living? I make content. Hi Paul, how you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat. I make content. I help you guys through your journey. Okay. Alright, so let me pull up the book first because I'll be looking for it. Look at my word. Alright, so if you're interested in growing, learning, and evolving, okay, right, that's what I'm here to help you do. Alright, so you guys know you can go into the Boss Up playlist on YouTube anytime, okay, and check out the book that we're reading. We're reading The Game of Life and How to Play It, 1925 by Florence Gaval, Shin. Yeah, I probably butchered that, but we are reading that one today. We are going to do our meditation first, okay? But let me know how y'all doing, how y'all feeling down in the chat, okay? It's going to be a quick meditation, like I said in the live title, okay? So that we can get into this. Not, like I said, I have some things to attend to, so we're not going to be here all night. All right. Now that's ready. Okay. Alrighty, you guys. Hi, Don. How you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat. All right. So when you're ready, you're gonna join me in a comfortable seat. Okay. We're gonna do our meditation really fast here. And when you're ready, you're gonna close your eyes gently, taking a few breaths here at your own pace to go inward, letting go of the rest of today, allowing yourself to be present in this moment now. When you're ready, you're going to take 5 really big breaths here. You're going to inhale through the stomach, rib cage, all the way, hold at the top, and then exhale with a sigh. Okay, we're holding for 5 seconds at the top. And let's begin. Inhale. Hold at the top. Let it out with a sigh. Inhale. Hold at the top. Let it out with a sigh. And count to 5 inside your head. Do it again. 3 more just like that. Hold at the top. Let it out with a sigh. 2 more at your own pace. Returning back to your normal rhythm of breath here. If you want to stay here and ground for a little bit longer, you are welcome to do that. And when you're ready, we're going to wiggle our toes, wiggle our fingers. You can roll out your wrists, roll out your ankles. I gotta crack my fingers. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and shake it out Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And open your eyes gently. And we are here. We are now. Alright. Welcome in, welcome in. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? What is the vibe? Let me know down in the chat. We just finished with our quick meditation. We just did a quick breathing exercise. Nothing too crazy, okay? There are plenty of those in our mindfulness playlist, okay? That simply guide you through the meditation journey, through yoga asana journey, through the breath work journey, okay? Um, there are a lot of technical names for the breath work journey, but we're just gonna keep it simple. Okay, but yes, we have that. The blanking on the word right now. Binaural beats, okay, to help with left and right hemp synchronization, okay. But we're gonna get into our book. Alrighty, so we're reading The Game of Life and How to Play It. Like I said, you can go read this book anytime in the Boss Up playlist already for yourself and go through it at your own pace. I know I talk, so if you guys are like, oh my goodness, she gonna pause the book 2 seconds into, yes, yes I am. Okay, like I just need you to know that, like that's what I do here. Okay, if you would rather read the book on your own and not be interrupted, right, the book is there for you to do that on your own time, right? But when you're with me, I'm gonna talk. Okay, that's movies, TV shows, books, it don't matter. I'm going to talk because I am processing out loud. I am neurodivergent, so it's just how it is, right? It's not that I'm trying to be rude or like interrupt the flow or the process, right? It's just that I am processing out loud and I am, taking you guys through my process, okay? So that you guys understand the knowledge at a greater capacity, right? And if you have questions, comments, or concerns, always let me know, okay? Oh, we're gonna go back 10 seconds and turn up the volume. I'm gonna make this big so I can read along with it. I mean, you guys can't really like read the pages on here, so we're just gonna. Okay. Let's see. 10 seconds.
She was a widow. She dressed up in black clothes and wore a long black veil.
Oh, we read
and
this.
People thought she was very clever and amusing. She grew up and married a man with whom she was deeply in love. In a short time, he died, and she wore black and a sweeping veil for many years. The picture of herself as a widow was impressed upon the subconscious mind, and in due time worked itself out, regardless of the havoc created. The conscious mind has been called mortal or carnal mind. It is the human mind and sees life as it appears to be. It sees death, disaster, sickness, poverty, and limitation of every kind, and it impresses the subconscious. The superconscious mind is the God mind within each man and is the realm of perfect ideas. In it is the perfect.
This is what I would describe to you guys as the God consciousness. Okay. I know Sigmund Freud has his own, if it is his own, beliefs on the system, right? When it comes to the ID, the ego, the superego, right? But in this sense, right, there's a lot of things, right, you can depict it as, right? The consciousness, the super consciousness, right? The ego, right? Then you have shadow, right? Your ego, sun, right? There are so many different ways to talk about the different levels of consciousness within us and how they're all deeply interconnected, even with the stars, right? So I just don't first off, I'm not 100% sure Sigmund Freud didn't just steal his stuff from indigenous people and then put his own little spin on it. You know what I'm saying? Like Maslow did. Maslow took his stuff from the Blackfoot tribe and, put his own little spin on it. And I don't agree with Maslow's work because he, you know, misrepresented misrepresented it in the light that physical needs come before spiritual needs, right? Um, it wasn't. It just wasn't the word I'm looking for. I forgot. I forgot what word exactly I was looking for, but it just wasn't shown in its truest light. Okay. So yeah, let's go on.
Pattern spoken of by Plato, the divine design, for there is a divine design for each person. There is a place that you are to fill, and no one.
Pretty sure Plato is a philosopher. Pretty sure. I will tell you now. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. But yes, Plato was a philosopher, yes.
Else can fill. Something you are to do which no one else can do. Mm-hmm. There is a perfect picture of this in this.
Okay, sorry, no, I just played it. But she said there's a place that you are to fill and no one else can fill. Something you are to do which no one else can do. And that is absolutely 100% true, right? There's things out here that for some of us make our soul sings more than others, right? There's something out there that is uniquely curated to your soul that you are supposed to be doing here on this planet at this time, right? And then you are meant to do that thing, and you're meant to discover that thing, learn that thing, right? And fulfill it to your best capability, okay? Because it's meant for you.
Superconscious mind. It usually flashes across the conscious as an unattainable ideal. Something.
See, look, it usually flashes across the consciousness as an unattainable ideal, something too good to be true. However, that ideal is what your soul is screaming for you to do, right? Your soul wants you to go and push forward on that idea. That's why I make it a point to tell you, do what your soul sings. Like, whatever makes your soul sing, do that, right? Because if your soul isn't guiding you to it, right, it's not going to align with you. You're not going to be able to stick out with it. It's always going to fall through because it's not what your soul actually wants. You have something here that your soul wanted to come and do this lifetime. You have to figure out what that is by going within. You're not going to figure it out by going outside the world and being like, like nothing out there is going to give you a clue. Only what's in here, right? And what's in here is going to give you the answers that you need, okay?
Something too good to be true. In reality, it is man's true destiny or destination flashed to him from the infinite intelligence which is within himself.
Yeah.
Many people, however, are in ignorance of their true destinies and are striving for things and situations which do not belong to them and would only bring failure and dissatisfaction if attained.
I swear to y'all, if I just let the book finish, she would get to the point that I was literally just making. But I had to make it because, like, this is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand and understand on a deeper level, okay? And I know I'm loud about it, but I'm passionate, so I don't even care. But yes, right, literally she said exactly what I was trying to make a point on, okay? That when you do what makes your soul sing, right, what aligns with your soul, okay, it's not gonna fall through, right? It doesn't matter what is thrown at it, okay? It is always going to find a way to put itself in your path, right? That is your destiny right there. It's always going to find a way back to you, right? God, infinite intelligence with inside of us, as we are the co-creators, right? We are the key to the engine, right? We for energy to get to moving, right? So therefore, if we are not going in the right direction, right? Infinite intelligence, the God within us, moves us back into alignment by unaligning us from the things that don't serve us, right? And those things fall away. They never seem to stay, right? Like she's saying also, dissatisfaction, it brings failure, right? It's not going to stick. It's not going to be long lasting, okay? As in something that was meant for your soul, okay? And you know what it is, because it could even be a childhood dream. Like that, that's what I want you guys to imagine. Like this could have been something you wanted to do since your childhood, right? And it just seemed too big at the time, right? But in like I keep trying to tell you guys, 2026 is the year to go. Do it. Just do it, right? Believe in yourself, create, okay, and do what you have to do. As long as you're not harming anyone, you're gonna get there, okay? Sorry, guys. Oh, my phone is on Do Not Disturb at this time. Okay, I was like, why is it not showing up on that screen? All right, let's go. Of course, as soon as I'm ready for it, the ads decide to come on.
For example, a woman came to me and asked me to speak the word that she would marry a certain man with whom she was very much in love. She called him A.B. I replied that this would be a violation of spiritual law, but that I would speak the word for the right man, the divine selection, the man who belonged to her by divine right. I added, if A.B. is the right man, you can't lose him.
Amen.
And if he isn't, you will receive his equivalent.
Okay.
She saw A.B. frequently, but no headway was made in their friendship. One evening, she called and said, do you know, for the last week, A.B. hasn't seemed so wonderful to me. I replied, maybe he is not the divine selection. Another man may be the right one. Soon after that, she met another man who fell in love with her at once, and who said she was his ideal. In fact, he said all the things that she had always wished A.B. would say to her. She remarked, it was quite uncanny. She soon returned his love and lost all interest in A.B.
Right, because you can't force someone into a relationship, and this is like kind of my thing with relationship readings. Like I don't mind them, but it's just you can't force someone into something, right? It is against their spiritual consentmentship if they don't consent to an alignment energy with you, right? So it's like, yes, we can do the readings on this partnership, but however, they have ownership of their energy and how they're going to move with that energy, right? So it's not like, anybody can change their particular behaviors, right? There's ways to do break bonds and energy attachments, yes, but when we're talking about trying to make someone fall in love with you, like that stuff never works. I don't know why people think that's kind of stuff that like works, but it is against spiritual law, and it does get you some karmic debt, okay? But yeah, like, so what she did there was made her intention mature, right? Because I believe in this book she is going to give a lot more affirmations that are really good affirmations, that if I were you, I'd be jotting these down and putting them somewhere around, right? She comes up with some really good affirmations, but like I said, she made her intention mature, right? Because it was no longer about this person being, the person she marries. It's about the divine encountership that she's supposed to have, becoming in union, become words, coming in union with her, okay? And not just, nitpicking, oh, this person, right? But why this person when you can have the divine person that is, in alignment with you, okay, for this time, okay? Um, so yeah, that's just very important to remember about your affirmations as well, is making sure they are mature and they do not cross any other energetic boundaries, okay, of other entities or beings, souls, right? You don't want to cross other people's energetic boundaries, okay? And that could be one.
This shows the law of substitution. A right idea was substituted for a wrong one. Therefore, there was no loss or sacrifice involved. Jesus Christ said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." And he said the kingdom was within man. The kingdom is the realm of right ideas, or the divine pattern.
The kingdom
Jesus Christ taught that man's words played a leading part in the game of...
Everything will be added to you. Everything will be attracted to you when you're in God consciousness. Right? When you reach God consciousness, everything is added, is attracted to you, right? It is just comes to you. It's not like you have to make some extraneous moves for it, okay? Hi, hon. What is my favorite song? I don't have one at the moment. I really don't. I don't know. Favorite song, that's kind of hard for me. It's always changing, so I don't, at the moment, I don't have one. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like a few different artists right now, but favorite song, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one yet. But yeah, I'm gonna let her finish.
Life.
I think I finished my
By your words ye are justified, and by your words ye are condemned.
Yeah.
Many people have brought disaster into their lives through idle words. For example,
words are times, okay? Alrighty, so remember, our words are magic, okay? They are vibrations that we are speaking into the universe. If you ever feel yourself speak, right, and like you're speaking, you ever feel the tingling sensations in your mouth when you're speaking, those are vibrations, right? Everything is made up of energy and vibrations interacting with those energies, and our speech is energy, right? So everything we are saying has a vibration to it, has an energy attached to it, okay? So yeah, when you're using it for good, right, good things happen. When you're using it for bad things happen. And that's in your life or in others' lives as well. So you do have to pay attention to that, because you could be causing your own misfortune, right? And if you're causing misfortune to others, that's gonna rack up karmic debt, right? Oh, thank you, Don Bailey. But what did I like about 2025? Mainly just building up this channel and, being able to spend time with you guys and, interact with you guys and, really see how this process and this journey and where it takes us. Okay? So yeah, that's what my main thing about 2025. So is mainly my content journey with you guys and building the community so that we have each other to lean on. Okay, so that's got to be the best part of it, right? Because we hit 50 subscribers on YouTube in November, and seeing how much we've grown in that short amount of time since then, like, I'm so grateful for that, guys. Did I finish my other thought? Ooh.
A woman once asked me why her life was now one of poverty, of limitation. Formerly, she had a home, was surrounded by beautiful things, and had plenty of money. We found she had often tired of the management of her home and had said repeatedly, "I'm sick and tired of things. I wish I lived in a trunk." And she added, "Today I am living in that trunk." She had spoken herself into a trunk. The subconscious mind has no sense of humor, and people often joke themselves into unhappy experiences. For example, a woman who had a great deal of money joked continually about getting ready for the poorhouse. In a few years, she was almost destitute, having impressed the subconscious mind with a picture of lack and limitation. Fortunately, the law works both ways, and a situation of lack may be changed to one of plenty.
This is true. Let that play. Okay, but this is true, guys, right? Like I was just saying, you can use it for either way. It really just depends. Right. So be aware of how you're using your tongue, what vibrations you're speaking into the universe. Even your thoughts are vibrations, right? Because their neuron transmitters are literally sending signals, which are energetic signals, which are going through your brain at really lightning speeds, right? So boom, you have to be careful of your thoughts too, right? Because those are also energetic signals, just like your thoughts. Okay, so remember that. If you guys ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down in the chat, especially if it pertains to any of the material, that we go over on lesson days or in general, right? So, tomorrow, there will be a new YouTube video up. It is going to be something new in a new direction, and I am excited for you guys to see it. Also, 30-minute one-on-one sessions are $12 for the month of March. Okay, $12.22, but that's way cheaper than $50, which is the usual price for the energy exchange. Okay, all you have to do this month is pay $12.22, right? Go onto the Mira app. Okay, I think if you go to the last live session, I want to say, let me see. Yes, the last live session that we did. Okay, I put in the title, use Mira for $12 30-minute one-on-one readings with me. Okay, you do get technically 45 minutes because I like to make sure that you have time to discuss and integrate the reading into your life and make sure that you really understand the energies that I am bringing forth and describing to you. So yeah, 30-minute one-on-one sessions, $12 for the month of March. Okay, through the Mira app. Okay, you have to go through Mira to get it. Okay, like I said, the app name is in yesterday's live stream title. Okay, yes, and don't forget that Friday we have our conscious game night. Okay, where we will be. Oh, is it still playing? Oh, thank God! I was gonna say we are not. We're not all the way over in a new spot, but okay. Conscious game night is on Friday night, 7:30. Always usually at that time, right? You guys can come and play, or you can come watch me play if you don't want to play yet, right? But it is Among Us. Okay, if you never played Among Us, it's a really easy game. However, we will be using intuition and our spiritual discernment during the games. Okay, I have shown you guys many examples of what that looks like, even in random lobbies. Okay, when they don't even know that that's what I'm doing. Basically, I'm using my intuition. I wouldn't call it cheating, but when you have a gift, you use the gift. gift. You know what I'm saying? So yes, that's why we have our conscious game night, so you can strengthen your intuition, your spiritual discernment. Like always, it is a muscle in your brain, okay, that you have to work out. You have to use it. You have to make it stronger, because it is technically not a for everyone a strong gift at first, right? It is not a strong technique they can use and relying on, right? Which is why psychology drags it through the mud, okay? Because it's not fully understood, right? So once we understand that it is a muscle in our brain, okay, and we have to train it, we just like any other muscle, right? And we do that during our conscious game night, okay? Because I want y'all to be super intuitive, okay? To be able to trust yourself, okay? Be able to one day we pick this into telepathy games, right? Because that's also a really important skill that I need you guys to know as well. So first we're just working on intuition and spiritual discernment, but eventually we'll start incorporating telepathy into these games as well, okay? And yeah, they were just video games, but you know, we repurpose them with intent to grow our abilities. Then you know, they have a whole new sense of creative purpose. All right, but hi William, how you doing? How you feeling? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. It has been, you know, one of those days, but it's been pretty good. I don't complain. So it's just, you know, everybody has their ups and their downs, and things get done. The universe take care of it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's crazy. You got a question? What's going on? Hanging in there? Period. I'm glad to hear that, William. One day at a time, okay, honey? You got this. All right. That's kind of crazy, Crown. Under the bed is crazy. But and then someone said, uh, shoot. there are still, you know, I don't blame them turning gay either. You know what I'm saying? But I also don't blame it vice versa. You know, y'all know I'm bisexual, pansexual, so I I don't really care. But thank you, hon. uh Hanging in there. Okay, period. You say yes to what I said. And then, hey Donna, I don't know if you're just waving. I don't know. You said you're just saying hi. I don't know. But how y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Let me know down in the chat. Okay. Alright. I am about to go ahead and get off. I'm just letting y'all know that we do have our conscious game night on Friday nights. Okay. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so it is our collective reading, okay? And it's Thursday is our personal reading day. So yes or no questions, 3-card, 5-card readings, okay? And it said you don't blame them. He said him. Well, you know, like I said, I'm not one to judge. I don't really care. Right? Like, I appreciate it, but everybody has their own preference, right? It is what it is. What can you really do about it? What's your favorite part about teaching us? When you guys like let me know what you're learning and you guys interact back with me. That's my favorite part. When you guys actually ask questions, you know, comment concerns, you know, that's my favorite part. So that I know that we're having a conversation and I'm not just talking to a screen. But you know, we'll get there. Back in order, I understand. And you're gonna do it, hun. You got this. You gotta believe in yourself, and everything's gonna work itself out, okay? You got it. Well, I understand. No, not messing. No, their preferences are their preferences, you know? I wish I had water, but I keep forgetting I don't. It's just ice and it hasn't melted yet. Bye, Don. Have a great day and blessed day, hun. And I'll see you next time, okay? Exactly. Try to have a blessed night. You too, William. I don't know what you mean by that, hun. But Faz, you said, yeah, I mean, everything is beautiful in my eyes, so it doesn't really matter if it's feminine or masculine. So it is what it is. So whatever they like, I like. You know what I'm saying? If they like men, you know what I'm saying? Cool. I like that for them. Okay, if they like women, I like that for them too. Okay, I'm not gonna complain. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm bi. So why wouldn't I want, some of the women to be freed up too? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like why would I? The more that swing the other way, the more that chances I get. I'll mess with y'all. Hey, I don't, hon, I don't. But hey, well, whatever that is to you, I don't know what that one thing is that you're jealous about, hun. I'm grateful. I'm grateful, for everything I got going on. And I don't know, so YH Live? I don't know what you mean, hun. These are corny. Well, wait. No, thanks, hun, thanks. I appreciate it. No, seriously. Sorry. At this point in my journey, y'all, like I said, I already am like so unfazed by like these kind of comments. I appreciate them, but I am unfazed by them. So they just like, I'd be laughing because I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you're trying to do there. But yeah. I would Stug Dank. I don't. What are you saying? I would to. I don't know what that meant. Love your smile. Thank you, William. Yes, y'all know I be smiling on here all the time though. Nah, it's a valid thing, obviously. Yeah, that. The boys know what? Oh goodness, hun. I hope it's not what I'm thinking, because I'd get you banned in this realm of the world. Okay, keep it respectful, and and saying I won't be you off in my screen right now. Okay, y'all know I do that. It's okay. All right. I'm jealous. Yeah, I mean, hey. I like my heart in my body, though. Hello from Brazil. Okay. Hey, how you doing? Nikki McCormick. Oh my goodness. Wait, no, I don't want to say it because it sounds mean. But I wasn't trying to make a joke, but it could have came across that way because I just thought of, nah, I'm gonna leave it alone. But how you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat. Okay. So yeah, we all right. Did I already mention Wednesday we are doing the collective reading. Thursday we are having our personal readings, yes or no questions, okay, for energy exchanges, of course, or new follows or subscriptions onto YouTube, okay. Friday, our conscious game night. Be there or be square, okay? Especially if you want to strengthen your intuition and your spiritual discernment. All right. Saturday, we're not doing nothing. Sunday, we're not doing anything. Saturdays and Sundays, we never do anything, okay? Alrighty, uh, that's the game plan, right? It's usually the same every week, guys. But do remember. Um, Said you want to follow me somewhere else. It's always in my bio. It's just as a link, so you gotta like copy paste the link to find my other social medias. YouTube is kind of weird. I'm still working around that to see if we can like, I don't know if we could put a live link into the bio so that you guys could actually click it. But we're working on that. Thank you, William. And yeah, respect. Period. It's all about respect. Thank you, Nikki. Um, hey, Joe. How you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat. So yeah, that's how you, if you are looking for my other social medias, okay, like I said, same rules apply. Be respectful wherever you go. But the link is always in my bio on YouTube. It's the link tree, Alea's Angel link, okay? TikTok, Instagram, Red Note, Twitch, okay? Our Discord, Brady Bunch Hideouts. That's how you can play on Fridays with us if you want to strengthen your intuition and your spiritual discernment, right? Join the Brady Bunch Hideout, okay? So you can join the voice chat and you can actually see the rules and how to play the game with your intuition, okay? We have integration questions as well, so all of that is on there for you to see in there. What else is in there? That's also how you book your appointments. Not the $12 appointments though. I'm trying to see if I could put a link into period. Okay, and then you asked, wait, play what game? Among Us. Okay, so it's kind of like Mafia. If you ever played Mafia, I've heard there's another game called Werewolf that's similar to it, right? There are imposters. You have to get, the good guys have to get out the bad guys, basically. But it does require intuition and spiritual discernment. Like I said, the Discord chat has the rules on how we are incorporating our intuition and our discernment into the game, right? Because already, like, if you just like pay attention, you could already do it without our incorporation rules. But however, I do just have it laid out for you, so it's like easier to understand and easier to like get the grasp on how we're going to be playing it with one another, okay? And that allows you voice access and thank you, hun. Voice access and chat access to the lobby in the game, okay? Nah. No, because Among Us is actually a very highly intellectual game. It's just swarm with you know, I don't want to be mean, but that is what's going on with the game right now. It used to have a lot of very intellectual people playing it, and then it fell off at some point, and that's why I don't prefer the random lobbies. I prefer to play with other intellectual beings that actually use their critical thinking abilities, use their discernment skills, and want to strengthen their intuition. So that is another strong point for them in this kind of detective. All you have to do is immerse. Yeah, basically. But it is to get you used to it in a game so that you're able to apply it in reality, right? Because when you're in, because the game is interacting with real people, right? You get 10 people in the game if we're not including me, right? So 10 people in the game, and those 10 people, out of them it'll be 2 imposters, 2 are bad guys, right? And the rest of the team have to figure out who, right, while bodies are dropping, okay? while, you know, people are faking tasks, manipulating other people, gaslighting other people in the chat, right? So it's getting you a feel for how interacting with other people is like, okay, because right now we have a lot of imposters in our government, right? We have a lot of people who, you know, aren't meant to be there, right, in there right now, acting like they're, you know, human, okay? And yes, I would appreciate it. And then what happened? Alright, trying to make sure I'm like keeping up with the chat, guys. T, you said you left me on scene in front of all these people. I don't know what you mean, hun. Said kind of a toxic relationship. Uh, exactly that too. Okay, not even the government, but also with, you know, narcissists in general. Okay, people who have like that need to be manipulative and try to gaslight other people, right? So noticing those tactics as well, not just in a government level but also in your day-to-day life, okay? Exactly. That is the point. But you are immersing yourself in a game situation, however it is to be applied to the real world reality that we have going on here, okay? That's why we do have integration questions at the end, especially for getting you to trust your intuition. Like I said, I know, I don't know if you guys have been seeing that whole Jim Carrey thing that's been going on and around, right? And like I seen a video of Jim Carrey and I was like, like I was immediately, I was like, oh hell no, who's that? Like, I barely got a glimpse of him and I was like, oh, who did you say that was? No, y'all lying to my face immediately. My body was like, they're lying. Like, no, it did not sit right in my soul whatsoever, guys. So things like that, you know, right. Are the starter packs. Exactly. And knowing how to discern those situations, right? And that's why, like, you can do it a little bit during when you're doing the chatting, right? The text chatting on Among Us, right? But it's also a different feel when you guys are doing voice chats, right? So when everybody's on their microphone and having a conversation, right? You can see how the tension starts to build. You can see how people are gonna try to defend themselves or get super defensive about one thing that happened, and you know, it like tries to derail the conversation. There's people who try to control the conversation and spin it one way, right? Like, these are different things you have to notice about people in general, okay? Because it gets that deep sometimes, right? You gotta, I mean, if a majority of humanity had these skills, if a majority of the United States of America had these skills, Donald Trump would not have been president, not even one time. Not even once. He would have never made the cut, ever. If most of United States of America had these skills to discern these kinds of situations, right? Because yeah, right, and it would be totally different, yeah. But what about me? Having a similar accent from India, though I'm not from there. I don't know what that under the, that's crazy. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, no, Quan, definitely everything would have been totally different if people had that level of discernment and could use their intuitions, right, to guide them in the right direction. I took a psychology class, and like the way they like just drag intuition through the mud is like insane. And already I'm like, y'all trying to indoctrinate people in college still? Goodness gracious. Like, I don't understand. Like I said, I don't understand doctors who don't do their own research into these topics, right? And just blindly trust these schools. It's like, okay, I will not be doing that because I already know y'all lying out the side of y'all left cheek talking about some intuition. It isn't, accurate source, and it's like, if you don't know how to thread the needle, it's not an accurate source, right? Because guess what? Intuition can be clouded by doubt, okay, by misinformation, right? If you do not have a sense of trust, confidence, willpower, right? If your mind is all over the place, right? Your intuition is not going to be 100% accurate 100% of the time, right? Not even a close to 90-80% of the time, right? That's why people wonder why they're half right half of the time, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's you're not threading that needle where it needs to be. You're not aligning your chakras the way you need to be, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Um, no, well, because I do want to get my PhD in psychology, philosophy, neuroscience, chemistry, physics, quantum physics, and many more. But like I said, intuition is a very big part of how our brains work, and a muscle within our brain that we can strengthen. It's just that it's completely like they just I don't know how to explain it. Like they really just like shit on it. Like they don't care about it. Like they try to make it seem like it's not a big deal. And right, these are it's an intro class, so this is very malleable high school minds, you know what I'm saying? Still able to, work in something. And in the first class you're saying that intuition isn't a reliable source, and it's like the youngins don't know apparently. And I mean, I did my own research before going back to school, right? Like I did a lot of research, and then I decided to go back to school. Uh so yes, if you don't have good intuition, that's life or death. I promise you, I'm not trying to scare nobody, but that can be life or death situation right there. Because you have to be able to trust your instincts like a deer, gang. Like a deer, okay? Because deers, I don't know how they be doing it, but that's their instincts, okay? They'll know someone is coming from far away. Like, yeah, like they'll know from, like, oh, how, like, that's their intuition. That's their instincts kicking in, right? Because intuition is instinct. Okay, we all have our natural instincts, and intuition is a sense that we have, okay, and that we can train and use, right? In I'm making it fun by using it in a game. However, people have different ways of fine tuning it, right? There's tons of different ways. People do like card games where they're like, oh, or like crystal games where they're like, guess the color of the crystal in my hand, and if you can guess it right, your intuition is good, right? And it's like yeah, but uh you said intuition doesn't belong in some rooms sometime and place for anything. Now, intuition belongs in everything. Uh, right? Because if you don't use your intuition, right, you're gonna find yourself in a lot of different predicaments you could have got yourself out of if you had stronger intuition, right? Um, that's the point I'm trying to get at, is that I don't like that the schools try to minimize intuition's value, right? They want to have it as something that's minuscule. It's not. It's a very big part of your day. Everything can rely on just that little momentum, okay, and trusting yourself and how you're moving, right? So it is gonna get you a lot of places. I mean, a lot of scientific research would not have been uh, laid out for us if it wasn't for intuition, right? Darwin figured out his theory for words. Um, his theory for the I'm blanking on words. It's gonna come to me when it comes to me, but his whole theory for evolution. There it is. Okay. That was all intuition, right? He didn't even want to come out with it, okay, because he was scared of the whole political church debacle. Right, he didn't want to come out with and say it. However, he had a competitor scientist who also discovered evolution based off intuition. Okay, that guy, I forget his name, but he literally came to Darwin about the whole evolution discovery and told him. He was literally in the jungle. He was like, I like, it just came to me. Like, I'm in the jungle researching, right, and I'm just laying there looking at the stars, and boom, it just comes to me, right? So everything that is in this world, right, of course, we are just becoming aware of the things that are in this world. We are not discovering anything. We are becoming aware of those things, and intuition guides us to down those paths, right? Because a lot of the time, right, people who create certain things, they are guided by their intuition, by the intelligence, right, the infinite intelligence within them, the God consciousness within them. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, there are people, yeah, they gaslight it and treat it as if it's not real. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that is a really big part of the challenge of getting people to like understand what intuition is as a natural part of our instincts, right, that we can use, okay, to our advantage, okay. Yeah, exactly. So wait, hold on. No, because and gather that information. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah. Um, but people doubt, in order to test intuition, and yeah, and like I said, I gathered all that information about intuition. And Darwin, yeah, he gathered a lot of intuition. He had like over like 30 years of research on it, and which is why he basically won the debacle on who was going to be the discovering scientist, right? Um, for the study of evolution, right? So because he had more research, right? He had that intuitive thought, right? That boom, what if, right? And then he went and he started to find physical proof to back up that whole theory he had, right? Then he put it into the scientific method, and then he proved it over and over and over again. And then somebody else who barely did any research, right, came to the same conclusion as Darwin, just being out in the woods one day doing just like, researching animals and plants and stuff like that, right? So expedition work, right? So just it boom came to him too, same way. And then that's when, like I said, they came over and were like, hey, and so they went in front of the big science convention, and they had their debate, right? And Darwin was the winner because he had more proof. He had a lot to back up what he was saying, right? Where the other guy was basically going off of intuition only, so they couldn't give it to him. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. Newton's law, I get it, because there's like a lot of compartments like to break that one down. Oh, okay, like yeah, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying though. Like that, I feel like that's my thing with like Maslow, right? Like I don't agree with Maslow, right? I don't agree with Sigmund Freud. Okay, like I haven't found the proof yet, but I'm sure Sigmund Freud stole his information from a indigenous tribe, and he misinterpreted the information completely and has been lying to the world for generations. And we've just been like, yeah, go white guy, and no one's been fact checking him and nothing like that. We just been rooting him on and perpetuating the same story. So it's the same with Maslow, guys. I can't take teachers seriously when they bring up those charts. I'm like, oh, this is what we're doing. Okay, just know I'm about to be asking you some questions during this interaction with the class, because I'm gonna make people think. I'm not gonna make them just take in this information. Am I a scientist? I mean, I do refer to myself as a scientist, right? Because I don't believe that you need the degrees to be seen as a scientist. If anything, the degrees are a stepping stone to me and nothing more. But just to have because the physical world, just you need something apparently. But like Rick Sanchez said, you really don't need school. You can learn all the information on your own if you look. Right? It's always there. So yeah, so I do identify as a scientist, but also integrated with spirituality, because I do believe that spirituality, science, religion, all speaking on the same things, and are very interconnected with one another. Yeah. I'm glad you think that, hun. Yes, that's what, we're always talking about that. Yes, exactly. That's all it's for. So I can have the credentials. So they're not out here trying to call me no quack, okay? Because we will not do that, okay? We will not do that, all right? I'm going to get my credentials so they'll be like, she knows what she's talking about. But hey, I'm still going to do my research on the side of whatever is going on in these school systems and everything. I'm just praying we get to the free school systems, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have to pay these people out of pocket. But hey, you know what I'm saying? That's another reason I'd rather be paid by these corporations than take any money from you guys. I rather just have these corporations be paying me. So you know what I'm saying? They could pay the corporations, and then I can give the rest of the money back to y'all. Okay. All right. Because that's the main intent. Y'all, if y'all been with me long enough, y'all know that we are building a community here, right? And I want to be able to pour into the community, right? So a subscription to the channel means more to me than anything, okay? Even if you were to try to send money, I would still be more grateful for the subscription, okay? Hi, Maud. How you doing? How you feeling? Let me know down in the chat. Okay, so yeah, guys. Peace be on to you too, honey. So we are trying to think. We're gonna come back to this book next week for the Game of Life and how to play it. But remember, you can read this book at your own pace. I know I talk, okay? So you don't have to tell me, okay, if you are going through the live and you're like, oh my goodness, she's talking every few seconds about the book. I swear, if you don't just play the audio, hey, you can go watch it for yourself, okay? It is saved in the Boss Up Your Brain playlist, okay? For you to be at your own leisure with, okay? But I talk, okay? Through TV shows, through movies, all right? Through books, it doesn't matter. I talk. I've been like that since I was a kid, okay? It's my ADHD, you know, my neurodivergency. It's really it's one of those things I can't always control because I am processing in the moment. So I do try to, but it doesn't feel natural. I'll let you know that it doesn't feel natural for me to do that kind of thing. Just sit there and be silent even though I'm processing new information, right? It was definitely hard in school for me to do that. So you promise you, I'm one of those people in class that literally sat there every time I had a question. Let me ask teacher. Like, you got another question? Yes, I have another question because what'd you just say? You're gonna have to re-explain that. Okay, then I'm gonna have to ask a clarifying question to make sure that I understood it. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I gotta. Yeah. You said that's natural for you to sit there and be quiet. It's not natural for me. It's just I gotta ask questions because I don't want to. I want to make sure like I didn't misunderstand it, and then I want to make sure that like I overstand the material as well. Like I explain it in a different way and make sure that okay, boom. You get what I'm saying, teach? Okay, good. Then we're on the same wavelength about how this works, right? Some teachers love it and some teachers are like, damn. Like, you know, my biological foundation teacher, which is the one who actually like led me to the story about Darwin and other guy. So yeah, he didn't mind it. I swear I was literally raising my hand every chance I got in that class. But hey, I'm pretty sure some of the people in that class passed that class because I kept asking questions. Okay, already because you know what I'm saying, if I didn't ask as many questions, I know people was gonna slide by later and be like, Alea, so did you understand? Like I did, but why didn't you ask questions in class? And so I even ask questions for the other people in class that don't want to ask the questions, you know what I'm saying, but you know are also still confused about the material. So you know I'm like, you know, maybe somebody else got this question too, let me ask this. Or they'll ask me and be like, you know, do you understand? I'm like, if I don't understand, I'm gonna ask the teacher in class. Like, you know, if I can't explain it to you, that means I don't get it. That means we both need to ask. If you don't want to ask, I'm gonna ask because especially with college, I don't play about it anymore. Like I used to be that. Oh yeah. I'll never, okay? Yes, that is, yeah, I don't, there never be enough communication. Yeah, no, seriously. Somebody's gotta ask. Yeah, they do, though, they do. Yeah, and I'm never gonna change for nobody, okay, y'all? You don't have to worry about that, okay? I'm not gonna change for anybody. I'm gonna keep being authentically me, okay? Because I got to. All right. I am what I've always wanted me to be. So, not knowing, but then realizing, you know, so not knowing at first what it truly meant for me, but then, you know, going down this path on this spiritual journey and really understanding what that was, right? And here I am. Here I am, y'all. So I'm not gonna change, and I told y'all, I promised y'all, until I got gray hair, I'm not stopping. Okay, there's so much knowledge, so many things for us to learn, grow, and evolve with, right? So my channel is just gonna be one big huge archive of years and years and years of information. Okay. Exactly. Me too. Yeah. It could shoot. I mean, what? I mean, why? I feel like it'd be weird if you couldn't, you know? And I feel like everyone should be allowed to express who they are and be themselves, okay? Doesn't matter what that looks like, as long as they're not hurting anybody, then, like, do you. Like, do you. Like, everybody has something that makes their soul sing, right? That is unique to them. and they just have to find it. They have to trust themselves, and they're gonna get there, right? Just sometimes they need a little push, you know what I'm saying? And I try to give that push when I can, okay? And I try to make it so, like, you guys know that on this journey, okay, if you ever need a shoulder to lean on, I am always there for you guys. My door is always open if you have questions, comments, or concerns about any of the things that we discuss on the channel. In the short post, right, in the long post, it doesn't really matter, right? In the live streams, okay? That's also a reason the Discord channel is there, okay? Take the worst influences. What do you mean? Like did I try to take the teachings and like spin them around, or something else? Because I mean, I feel like that is also, yeah, you know, people can take the teachings. They let the worst things for them influence them. Okay, yeah, that too. That too. A lot of people seem to struggle with distractions, especially since distractions are perfectly curated to make sure you lose focus on self, on God, on consciousness, right? That you lose focus on enlightenment in general, and that you are distracted from their path. Like that is literally what it is set up to do. Why we have all these devices, why we have, you know, all these shows, sports, right? Everything is curated so that, you know, you're more focused on what's out there instead of what's going on in here. And I hate that for them too. But it is a state that everyone at this point has to go through to get to that next step on their journey, right? I hope that one day that they're able to come to self-awareness, to be able to grow in the path of enlightenment. But at the same time, we can't force nobody to come on this journey. We can't push nobody, right? All we can do is plant the seeds, right? And hopefully one day they will realize it. Okay, I understand. I understand. Hey, as long as you're like, you're consciously aware during them, right? And you peeping game when you have to peep it, right? And it's not just like blindly consuming, and you know, whatever they're trying to subliminally get into your system, right? So as long as you're doing that, I really don't care. Okay. Because, you know, I know some people in the spiritual journey who don't watch any TV, and then there's people in the spiritual journey who do watch TV here, there, but it's not like they are like binge watching anything, like they're like full going into it, right? It's just like, you know, they still like to, you know, get their little their little fix or whatever, you know. But it's not like in the same sense of when you're unconsciously just consuming, right? And you're not really processing the information, because a lot of shows have a deeper meaning than just what's on the screen, right? Especially the concepts of some of the shows, they get pretty deep. And if you're interested in that, you should definitely watch out for tomorrow's YouTube video. Okay, I'm not gonna say nothing more, but you should go watch that tomorrow when it is live. Okay. Actually, I need to go upload it like now, so I probably should get off so that I could do that for y'all, because I need to upload it ASAP. Okay. That I don't know, the uploading process takes hours, so I want to make sure that it is ready, set, and to go for tomorrow, so you guys can see that as soon as it becomes live. Okay. But yeah, that's why I was late to the live today too. So I was finishing touches on that so that I could just upload it tonight, and we can have it up there. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Remember, we speak love, justice, and peace. You guys have a blessed rest of your evening, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Amen. Let's see if I can. Oh.